Welcome to our deep dive on credit utilization and the timing strategy that can help you build credit while maximizing rewards. In this video, we will unpack why maxing out your card is not inherently bad, how reporting dates affect your score, and how to use strategic payments to report low utilization. We will also cover how to leverage this behavior to request a credit limit increase for a potential score boost. By the end, you will understand the relationship between statement closing dates, due dates, utilization reporting, and how to apply these principles safely. Here is our roadmap. First, we will define utilization clearly. Next, we will distinguish reporting dates from due dates. Then, we will reveal the secret strategy of paying before the statement closes. After that, we will show you how high usage can support a credit limit increase. We will follow with a myths versus reality comparison and practical tools for timing your payments. Finally, we will check your understanding with short quizzes before we wrap up. The common advice is to never exceed 30% utilization. This is only partially true. The problem is not temporarily using a large portion of your limit. The problem is allowing a high balance to be reported to the bureaus. High reported utilization signals potential financial stress to scoring models and can temporarily lower your score. Our goal is to separate actual spending behavior from what gets reported. Utilization is the percentage of your credit limit that is reported as your balance. It is calculated as reported balance divided by limit, multiplied by 100%. High reported utilization, such as 100%, will often cause a temporary score drop, even if you intend to pay it in full later. The critical nuance is that utilization for scoring purposes is captured around the statement closing date, not the due date. While payment history is the largest contributor to your score, utilization is the most flexible lever you can adjust quickly. This pie chart illustrates a common breakdown of FICO scoring factors. Payment history is typically about 35%, making on-time payments the number one priority. Amounts owed, which includes utilization, accounts for roughly 30%, making it the second most influential factor. The remaining components, including length of credit history, new credit, and credit mix, make up the rest. This is why optimizing utilization timing can have a noticeable short-term effect. Most issuers report your balance around the statement closing date, not the due date. The due date arrives later and is primarily relevant to interest if you do not pay in full. The effective strategy is to spend normally or heavily for rewards, then make a large payment before the statement closes so that the reported balance is low. This allows you to show low utilization to the bureaus while still enjoying your rewards and keeping your payment history perfect. Many aim to report under 10% for optimal scoring. Here is the practical playbook. First, find and track your statement closing date. Second, continue using your card to earn rewards and build history. Third, 3 to 5 days before the statement closing date, make a large payment to reduce the balance significantly. Fourth, allow the statement to close with a small balance, ideally under 10% of the limit. Fifth, pay the remaining statement balance in full by the due date to avoid interest. Finally, after 2 to 3 cycles demonstrating high usage and full repayment, request a credit limit increase. This table demonstrates how reported utilization changes with timing and limits. In the first scenario, spending $900 on a $1,000 limit and making no pre-close payment leads to 90% utilization reported, which usually lowers your score temporarily. In the second scenario, paying $850 before the statement closes leaves a $50 reported balance, or 5% utilization, which tends to be beneficial. In the third scenario, a higher limit alone reduces the utilization to 30%. In the final scenario, combining a higher limit with the smart pre-close payment reports only about 1.7% utilization, a strong positive signal. This decision flowchart helps you choose the right approach. If you are applying for a major loan within the next 60 days, you should keep utilization under 10% throughout the month, make multiple mid-cycle payments if necessary, and avoid opening new accounts. If you are not applying soon, you can use your card normally for rewards and focus on paying before the statement closes to report low utilization. Both paths emphasize paying on time and in full. For the non-application path, consider requesting a credit limit increase after 2 to 3 cycles and monitor your scores monthly. You can use high usage combined with fast repayment to signal to your issuer that your current limit is insufficient. After 2 to 3 cycles demonstrating this pattern, request a credit limit increase. Be aware that some issuers perform soft inquiries, while others perform hard inquiries. A higher limit reduces your utilization ratio immediately even if your spending stays the same. Continue managing your payments relative to the statement closing date to keep reported utilization low. Let's separate myths from reality. The myth says to never exceed 30% utilization under any circumstances. The reality is that reported utilization on the statement date is what affects scoring. Another myth is that paying in full after the due date fixes utilization, but utilization is captured at statement close, not the due date. It is also a myth that maxing out always causes long-term harm. Score dips are typically temporary if you pay on time and control what is reported. Finally, while zero balances are fine, some scoring models may prefer seeing small usage with a low reported balance rather than consistently zero. Here are practical tips. Track your statement closing date using a calendar reminder labeled Pay Down Before Close. Set alerts in your banking app to notify you when your balance crosses predefined thresholds, such as 10% of your limit. Enable autopay for the full statement balance to avoid interest and late payments. As a working rule, aim to keep the reported balance at or below 10% of your limit. If your issuer occasionally reports mid-cycle, consider an additional payment near month-end to ensure low reported balances. Quiz time. Question: when does utilization typically get recorded for credit scoring purposes? Option A, on your due date. Option B, on your statement closing date. Option C, on the day you make a payment. Option D, at the end of the calendar month. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is on your statement closing date. Utilization is generally captured at the time your statement closes, not on the due date, not when you make a payment, and not at the end of the calendar month. That is why strategically paying before the statement closes can improve what gets reported. Second quiz. Question: which action lowers your utilization ratio immediately without changing your spending? Option A, opening a new rewards card and carrying a balance. Option B, requesting and receiving a credit limit increase. Option C, paying only the minimum due. Option D, making purchases just after the statement closes. Pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is requesting and receiving a credit limit increase. Increasing the denominator in the utilization calculation decreases the percentage immediately. Opening a new card may change total limits, but can also introduce new account factors and is not the same as carrying a balance. Paying only the minimum does not sufficiently change the balance. And timing purchases after the statement close manages reporting but does not change the limit itself. Before applying this strategy broadly, keep safety in mind. Some issuers may report balances at different times, such as end of month or after a large payment, so verify your issuer's pattern. Always pay the full statement balance by the due date to avoid interest. If you plan to apply for a mortgage or auto loan soon, keep your utilization low throughout the month because lenders may pull your report at any time. Be aware that credit limit increase requests can trigger soft or hard inquiries depending on the issuer. Finally, scoring models vary, and your results may differ. This mind map organizes the strategy into 4 domains. Timing includes paying 3 to 5 days before the statement closes and aiming to report under 10%. Payments include setting auto-pay for the statement balance and making mid-cycle top-ups if needed. Limits include requesting credit limit increases after demonstrating responsible high usage and confirming whether the issuer uses a soft or hard inquiry. Safety reminds you to avoid interest, keep utilization low all month if you are applying soon, and account for issuer reporting quirks. These are the core takeaways. What matters most is your reported utilization, not your highest balance mid-cycle. Paying before the statement closes allows you to report low utilization. Payment history remains the most important factor, so always pay on time and in full. High usage with quick repayment can support a credit limit increase request. If you plan to apply for credit soon, keep your utilization low throughout the month. In summary, spend strategically and pay early to control what is reported. Use calendars and alerts to ensure you do not miss the pre-close payment window. Leverage responsible high usage to request a higher credit limit and reduce your utilization ratio. If you are preparing to borrow, keep utilization low at all times to protect your score. Disclaimer: This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Scoring models and issuer policies vary, so confirm your card's reporting practices and whether credit limit increases involve soft or hard inquiries. Always pay at least the statement balance by the due date to avoid interest. If you are applying for a mortgage or major installment loan soon, maintain low utilization throughout the month. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with someone who wants to optimize rewards and credit scores, and subscribe for more strategies. Share your questions and experiences in the comments so we can all learn together.